are heading towards one of my favourite places on earth, the Amalfi Coast, to celebrate my birthday. It's about a 4-hour drive, so we should be able to do it all in one go. But the weather is beautiful, it's lovely scenery all the way there. There will be a few curves to navigate, so I'm not looking forward to the car sickness, but it should be absolutely beautiful. I really love travelling through Italy by car because each region has a very distinct landscape and it's amazing to watch it change as you go through the journey. As soon as you see these Italian stone pines or umbrella trees, you know you've hit Campania and that you're in the south. And then of course the roads start to get a lot narrower and windier as we approach Salerno. Have arrived at all of the windy roads that lead up to Ravello, and the views are absolutely stunning, but the roads are so narrow. I'm really pleased we're in a teeny tiny Fiat 500 and also extremely pleased I'm not the one driving, but take a look at these views. We arrived at our villa in just under 4 hours, which wasn't bad going at all, and it was decorated in typical Amalfi Coast style with lots of majolica tiles, blues and yellows and lemons everywhere. I also booked a suite with a sea view, which definitely didn't disappoint. We decided to take a quick tour of the beautiful grounds before heading out for an aperitivo before dinner. Passed lots of lovely ceramic shops on our walk into town and then headed to the main piazza to take in the views. We made a quick ice cream stop at Bafone, which was recommended to us by a local, and then headed to the garden bar for an aperitif on this beautiful terrace. There was a wonderful sunset forming as we headed to the restaurant for dinner. We had a sea view table from which you can see Minori and Maiori, two of the other beautiful towns on the Amalfi Coast. Given that this is the home of the most wonderful lemons, I went for a pizza with tomatoes, anchovies, provola and lemon rind, accompanied by a limoncello spritz. And dessert was equally lemony. We've just finished our pizza and we stopped at the corner shop on the way home to pick up a bottle of Prosecco, and the pool here is open 24 hours a day, so we're going to go and have a dip and have a glass of this to celebrate my birthday. Good morning, we've just woken up to the most beautiful day, so we're going to go and make use of the hot tub and then go to breakfast, and I'm looking forward to having a proper look around the villa while it's lovely and sunny. this beautiful view over the sea. I don't know if you can see, there's also lemon trees everywhere in the background. It's just stunning. We've had such a relaxing morning using the spa facilities, and now I can't wait to see what breakfast has in store for us. Then set off on the part of the trip I was most looking forward to, visiting some of the most beautiful gardens in the whole of Italy. We're just taking the hundreds of steps up to the main piazza. I've been to the Amalfi Coast many times, so I was aware of the fact there'd be lots of stairs, but I'm just not fit enough, as you can tell. Villa Rufolo is a beautiful building with gardens right in the centre of Ravello. Its layout dates back to the 13th century, but it was extensively remodelled in the 19th century. If you've ever seen a postcard of Ravello, the photograph was undoubtedly taken from Villa Rufolo. It has that famous umbrella tree with the sea in the background, and I can't wait to see it in person. In fact, the German composer Richard Wagner visited the villa in 1880 and was so overcome by the beauty of the location that he imagined the setting as the Garden of Klingsor in the second act of Parsifal. In commemoration, every year the lower garden of Villa Rufolo hosts a Wagnerian concert. As part of your ticket, you'll get entry to the tower, which takes you right to the top for an even better view of Ravello. So we've just finished looking at the beautiful gardens at Villa Rufolo, which was spectacular. Now we've come to Villa Cimbrone, which is the other main attraction in Ravello, to check out what they have to offer, including the famous Infinity Terrace. Villa Cimbrone dates back to the 11th century, but is now a 5-star hotel very popular for destination weddings. However, the gardens are open to the public and cost just €10 to visit. Time for birthday lunch at the beautiful Villa Maria. Sticking with the lemony theme, I started with spaghetti with garlic, olive oil and lemon rind, and then had a freshly caught frittura di pesce. We finished our meal, which was absolutely lovely, and now we're extremely full, so we're going to walk into town to try and work some of it off and pick up some souvenirs for everyone back home. We obviously couldn't head home without picking up some proper tomatoes and some fresh buffalo mozzarella. There was even a poster of Maradona in the shop, so it had my heart from the beginning.
So we're back home now, and although I would have loved to stay longer, there's just too much to do on the farm, so sadly it was a very short trip. Now, I spent quite a few summers as a child in Positano, and it definitely deserves its amazing reputation. So if you've never been to the Amalfi Coast before, I still think it's a definite must-see. But if, like me, you've been and done most of the touristy things there, I think Ravello makes a beautiful base for your travels. It's a 6-minute drive or an hour-ish walk to Amalfi, and you can also visit Minori and Maiori from there too. It's a mountainous town, so it's a little bit cooler if you want to escape the heat. It doesn't have a beach, however, so that's something to bear in mind. But since we went in May, it didn't really matter because it wouldn't have been hot enough to go to the beach. And I think it more than makes up for it by having the most beautiful views in the whole of the Amalfi Coast. There are a lot of steps to navigate if you have any accessibility issues or health issues, so that's something to bear in mind. And if you're not used to wearing heels all the time like I am, I would definitely recommend wearing flat shoes for all your walking. In terms of how long to spend there, I guess it depends how much of the Amalfi Coast you've seen already, but I would say you need at least 2 days in Ravello itself, and then maybe a day to go to Amalfi, a day to visit Maiori and Minori, and then I guess if you haven't seen Sorrento and Capri, etc., you might want to stay on it a little bit longer. In terms of prices, obviously the Amalfi Coast is very expensive, so be prepared to pay quite a bit for your food and drinks, etc., but I guess you're paying mainly for the view itself. If you're interested in staying at the villa we stayed at or any of the other places we visited, please just drop me a comment below. I hope you really enjoyed this slightly slower paced video, just taking in the beautiful sights and sounds of the Amalfi Coast. See you soon.